Would you do it again? Or was it a waste of time? More about that right after the intro. Wow! Welcome to the Day One Journey, where I share with you my journey towards understanding who I am, knowing myself, so I can be myself, so I can be true to myself. Episode 598. Ching, yeah! So what about you? Would you do it again? Or was it a waste of time? Did you notice the assumption in this question? Well, personally, I don't like this question because it assumes that if I wouldn't do it again, it was a waste of time. And I don't agree with that. Some experiences I go through in my life and I wouldn't do them again, but I wouldn't label them as a waste of time. Because some things I need to experience to find out that I won't do them again. This is for me part of life. I like to taste things. I like to try new things. I like to push myself to the next level. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't feel right. Sometimes I don't know what happens. But I wouldn't necessarily jump to the conclusion that it was a waste of time. Because in many cases, I learn new things about myself, about the experience, about my skills. I get better. And still, I can't come to the conclusion that I wouldn't do it again. But it doesn't necessarily say to me that it was a waste of time. For example, as I shared with you in the last few episodes, when I was on the Vipassana retreat, it wasn't a perfect experience. It was super intense, super difficult. And yes, I'm not sure if I would do it again. Sometimes I think I will do it again. Sometimes I think I won't do it again. But in either case, in both cases, whether I do it again or not, I won't label it. The first time I went to the Vipassana retreat, I won't label it as a waste of time. Because as I showed in the last episode, I have so many reasons why it wasn't a waste of time. And this is what I want to share with you in this episode. Sometimes we I think, judge ourselves too harshly about things that have been in the past. We say, no, it was a waste of time. Well, not necessarily, because what we know right now, in many cases, we didn't know before. So how can we say it was a waste of time if we didn't even know? Sometimes we need to go through the experience to find out that this is not for us. But we can learn a lot of things during the experience. And as for me, I wouldn't jump to the conclusion of labeling things as a waste of time. And this is what I want to share with you in this episode. So back to you. Try to think about that. Try to think about one example of one event, one experience, something that you wouldn't do again, but you don't consider a waste of time. You don't consider going through this event, through this experience, a waste of time, even though you wouldn't do it again. Give yourself a few minutes today. Think about one example just like that. And of course, have an amazing day one. See you tomorrow.